Hi there. I'm going to talk to you today about a line from this book. The book is, it's called Meditations of the Heart. It's by Howard Thurman. I always want to say Truman, but it's Thurman. Um, and he was a minister and an American mystic. He actually was a mentor to Martin Luther King. He was the person who convinced Martin Luther King that a nonviolent approach was the best approach. Anyway, he has written this book and a few others. And if you get a chance to read him, you probably should. He's pretty amazing. One of the things that I like about his books is that he is very poetic and he's very crisp. So you'll be caught off guard sometimes with a line that he writes because he captures so much in that one line. He's almost poetic. Um, and you'll walk away from his books with thinking. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about one of the ones that got me thinking recently. There is a meditation here on the unity of, so the unity is in God is the meditation name of this part of it. And the line that got me is this. It says, weeds do not have to be cultivated, but vegetables must. Weeds do not have to be cultivated, but vegetables must. And he's talking basically about, life and how life shows up. Life, keeps moving forward. It keeps coming forward. And he's in a roundabout way proposing that because we have God in our life and order, that he pushes us to put order back into our life and cultivate. And if we cultivate vegetables, we will have a more nourishing life. It's more sustaining, it's more life sustaining, but life is going to come at us either way. That's the way God designed the world. He designed it so that life comes and it keeps moving, it keeps going forward. A few paragraphs later, he says, he talks about, um, some of the weeds that do pop up, and he mentions, you know, the same thing that causes the strawberries to grow, the wild strawberries, can also cause poison ivy to grow. Um, when the conditions for growth have been met, the growth follows automatically. So he's basically saying, God gave us a world where we have growth and sustaining life around us. But if we cultivate it, our life will be even better. Our life will be even more amazing because he gave us the power to actually bring it to a new order. And if you think about your garden, if you're looking at a garden, you can have a garden and just let it go. And it feels like it is empty and it's overgrown and it's weeds and it's troublesome, to be truthful. But if you have a garden that you nourish and you take care of, you can have vegetables, you can have flowers, you can have beauty, you can have all these things. And he maintains that that is one of the gifts of God. He gave us a world that we could interact with. I have to tell you, one of the things that really got me with this, had been reading this right after I'd been looking at something that was on Facebook. I follow something on Facebook that is abandoned places, abandoned places. And a lot of the abandoned places that you'll see, they'll have like mold and mildew. They'll have trees growing inside the house, all this sort of stuff, but there's always an emptiness, like a void. You can see the void. It's very interesting. And, after I read this, I thought, oh, that's the deal. It's missing the soul of the human. I was kind of focusing on the mold and the mildew that was happening there and the breakdown. But there's also like this soul that's missing. the soul of the human. When we look at great beauty, we can see the soul of the human put into it, the creativity put into it, the unity of God and man into a beautiful work of art, a vegetable garden, a house, all this different stuff. So, very interesting thing to think about. So, um, I hope that helps you to give you something to think about and something to the thank the world for. There's ways that we can interact with our world to make it even better. Thank you for listening today, and I look forward to seeing you soon.